Hello and welcome. I am Cassidy Nova, the Commerce Sales Manager here at Cropster. Welcome to our webinar today about easily crafting your WooCommerce shop with beans. Before I introduce our speaker, though, I would love to get to know everyone. We've set up a 3-question poll just really quick. You should see that now on your screen, just kind of wondering why everyone's here today and what you're looking to learn. So yeah, feel free to fill that out. I'll give you a second to do that, and then we'll get started. Also, we will have a Q&A session at the end, so feel free to send questions throughout, and we'll check back on those at the end. You can make a note along the way so you don't forget. We will follow up with those. Looks like we have some people here looking for retail web shops. Information there. Yeah. A little bit of both, B2B and retail. We'll be sure to touch on all of that as well. Yeah, pretty even split. We've got retail, wholesale, both kind of straight down the middle. So we will be sure to touch in on all of that. Cool. I think that's enough information for us. Well, we'll dive right in, and I will touch on some of the hurdles, some of the stuff you're looking forward to as well. But I would love to introduce you to our guest today. I have Magda Rachowicz here she's the commercial manager of Beans. She's been in the coffee industry since 2018. She's helped build one of the biggest coffee e-commerce platforms in Poland and runs specialty coffee spots in Krakow. Now she supports roasteries worldwide, building wholesale business online with beans, beyond coffee. Magda enjoys drinking matcha, working out, reading psychological books, and has a love for hospitality, traveling, and connecting with new people and cultures. Wow, what great information on you. I feel like I should have added more. Welcome, Magda, and thank you so much for being a part of this today.
Yeah, hello, Cassidy. Hi, thank you very much for a very warm introduction. Hello, everyone. Yeah, I believe this is our very first online event because usually what we did was like joint offline events like SCA or World of Coffee. So I'm really happy to do this today. And yeah, it's gonna be equally exciting. So yeah, definitely let's do this.
Yeah, excited to hear all about your expertise, a very specific view of the coffee world. So we can start off. Why don't you just tell me a little more about Beans and everything that you are all doing?
Sure, absolutely. So in short, Beans is a platform designed specifically for coffee roasteries to manage their wholesale business. So we realized early on through multiple conversations with roasteries that wholesale and retail operations are completely different. While there are many great B2C retail solutions on the market like Shopify or Squarespace or WooCommerce platform, actually few cater to wholesale needs in an easy, affordable way and user-friendly way. especially in the coffee industry. And many of them require custom development, which can be pretty tough for non-technical users. So we believe at Beans that we can fill this gap by providing an easy-to-use platform for roasters to engage with their wholesale customers. We built all wholesale shops on the well-known WooCommerce platform, adapting it to the specific needs of roasteries. WooCommerce is known for its robust features, and we at Beans enhanced it by integrated with coffee-specific tools like Cropster, or by adding coffee-related features, or by optimizing for wholesale workflows. So we use existing building blocks, and we're trying to improve them based on the needs of our customers.
Yeah, we were at SCA together, and this was like one of the biggest talking points. Like, how do I get my orders online? How do we do that? What do you think the biggest advantage to getting orders online? I know in the coffee world, it's just like you want that customer experience. You get your phone calls and your emails. You want to be close with the customers. Yeah, tell me about the advantages there.
Yeah, definitely, you're right. I would say that according to our customers, usually what we hear is that it is all about savings, either your time or precious resources, or eventually saving money. So I would say the biggest advantage is definitely convenience, because wholesale customers can access your current offerings with tailored prices anytime, allowing them to purchase from you 24/7 without needing to call you, to email you, to WhatsApp you. This saves time, definitely, and reduce errors while keeping everything organized and automated, starting from your inventory through the offering prices and ending on production schedules. We believe that automation really helps you focus on other important tasks rather than on repeated duties and mundane tasks. So for example, with Beans, you can process and track orders consistently, definitely reducing mistakes along the way. This consistency builds trust with your customers and help your business run more smoothly, even if you face challenges with team rotation. Additionally, by automating some routine tasks like order processing or inventory management, you can save significant amount of time and resources, allowing you to focus more on roasting great coffee and growing your roasting business.
Yeah, that was kind of part 2 at SCA, was how do I stop double entry? So I don't have to enter this here and enter it there. So WooCommerce, you have the customers enter their information. Definitely, I imagine, would reduce errors a lot. Yeah,
Definitely.
so we've had a couple people ask about kind of like customer strategy, but what do you think are some elements that just all web shops should have? And this could be B2B, direct to consumer. Tell me a little more about what you think there.
Yeah, definitely. So I would start with some basics. Every online shop should have a user-friendly interface, easy to navigate menu, clear product listing with good product images, detailed product descriptions, and easy checkout process. This is common for both B2B and B2C businesses. Additionally, you should pay attention to a mobile-friendly design so that your customers can purchase from any device. This is also common for both B2B and B2C customers. But when building a new shop, what I usually recommend is figuring out your main source of truth. This should include details about your customers, about your inventory, about your pricing tiers, and also about the products. So if you don't have your source of truth yet, please establish one. Once you start adding other tools and systems in your existing ecosystem in your business, it will become tricky to manage all of those parameters, separate tools, and so on. Your source of truth might be your accounting solutions like QuickBooks, for example, or Cropster. It might be your e-commerce platform, retail store, or even spreadsheet. It actually doesn't matter. but make sure you know your source of truth so that you can create streamlined workflows. So I would say in this initial phase of setting up a new platform, it doesn't matter whether this is B2B or B2C store. First step would be to have your products list prepared, high quality images, detailed product descriptions, and with corresponding prices. Step number 2 would be to organize your products into categories, and also would be use SKUs for product identification and tracking. What is actually SKU? This term usually pops up around products or around the topic of inventory. So for those not familiar with the term, SKU stands for stock keeping unit. This is a unique code used to identify each product with its variations like size, like weight, like color, like brand, etc. So SKUs are widely used in inventory management and can be assigned to products in any e-commerce platform, including Beans, Shopify, WooCommerce, or even in Cropster. So why the SKUs are important? First, it helps you track stock levels and organizes your products. It also ensures that right products are picked, are shipped, and also it helps you reduce some mistakes. Also, it works smoothly with other external solutions, like with accounting solution, or with your inventory systems like Cropster or like QuickBooks, Xero, and with other solutions that you keep information about your products and inventory. So if you do not have your SKUs implemented yet, that's something that you need to catch up on right after this webinar. I believe there are plenty of nice free online SKU generator available. We can also put some links to the notes on the YouTube to those generators. So yeah, let's go back to the steps. Step number 3 would be to structure your customer list with contact details, with commercial terms. This is specifically important for wholesale part of the business. Have your source of truth written down, either in your CRM system, as I mentioned before, in your CRM systems like HubSpot, for example, or accounting system like QuickBooks, spreadsheet, Google Docs, even on a piece of paper. We know that there are like plenty of companies out there, plenty of roasteries who have a person who has all the knowledge. And it is actually a problem, right? Because as you grow your business, as you scale, you would like to have this knowledge written down. So that's why we recommend to write down all your customer groups, all the rows, all the pricing tiers, all of those dependencies, all of those shipping terms and payment terms, so that we can easily reflect the structure and the knowledge you have in your company in both your B2B and B2C platform. In the future, it definitely helps us and you, our roasteries, identify potential problems with using platforms like Shopify, Beans, Squarespace, and also it will help us fix problems in the future. So we have client list, and I would say the last piece would be the topic of integrations. We are not planning to go deeper into the integrations today, but definitely what you should consider is to check out if your next wholesale platform or e-commerce platform can be easily integrated into your existing ecosystem. So make sure your shop can be integrated seamlessly with your existing systems like accounting, Xero, QuickBooks, with your payment gateway. So if you allow credit card payments or online payments through Stripe, Square, PayPal, if you would like to connect your e-commerce platform to fulfillment platforms or to production tools like Cropster. So this integration part is crucial to streamline all of the operations and reduce manual work. So please enlist all the tools you believe should be connected to your e-commerce, and then check out if you can connect them to your next wholesale/e-commerce platform.
Yeah, definitely. Your tech stack, all of the technology you're using, how do they communicate? It's a great way to start building up kind of that foundation. That makes a lot of sense. And I like the way you put that, the source of truth. I think the WooCommerce store on Beans can be a really great source of truth, and then that can feed into everything, that gets rid of
That's
the double
correct.
entry we talked about. Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing. Great information. So a little bit more on like the branding side. How can a company better incorporate their brand within their site?
Sure. Huge topic. You can definitely incorporate your brand identity in simple steps. Crucial topic for both B2B and B2C. You can start with very simple steps, like use your logo, use your colors, use your fonts consistently across the website, both B2B and B2C, to create this cohesive look. You can share your brand story and mission statements on the About Us page, or also throughout your content to connect with your customers. This one specifically, like the brand story, mission statement, this is especially important for building your brand personality, identity among retail customers. High quality content like blogs, videos, customer testimonials can definitely highlight your brand. And make sure your product pages reflect your brand's identity with consistent language too. The major differences between B2B and B2C. I would say in terms of the brand, and not only, is that the B2B shops that usually we create, but also other platforms, those B2B shops are private. This means that unregistered customers cannot access your products and cannot access your prices. Someone needs to sign up for the wholesale account, then needs to be vetted and approved by your wholesale manager. Also, in terms of the branding element, wholesale stores needs, and not only branding, but also the functionality itself, is that wholesale stores needs features like bulk ordering, custom pricing tiers, custom product visibility and availability. These stores handle large orders, offer volume-based discounts, provide personalized services, but also might include features like credit terms or custom shipping terms. And very unique aspect of wholesale business is offering white label products. So this one requires custom pricing tiers, custom product visibility, and also custom product availability, allowing you to create private products or private products categories easily. So for example, we have two types of customers at Beans. So we have, for example, roastery that roast white label coffee for a supermarket. So they have one or multiple products with multiple variants. Versus we also have a roastery who that supplies their own coffee spots across the US. So for the very first roastery, creating a private products with private variants will be good enough. For the second case, this is not only about creating private products or private product variants, but entire private product categories like branded takeaway cups, branded chocolates, branded aprons, mugs, egg cups, and so on. So for those specific needs, you are able to create entire private categories available for a specific group of customers, because you don't want to display all of those products related to your business, to your brand, to other customers. You would like to make sure that you can display all of those internal private products to your internal customers, and also making sure that if you roast white label coffee for external wholesale customers, you can display right products in the right place at the right time. In case of DTC shops, they usually focus on individual customers, focusing on product recommendations, on customer reviews and marketing tools like email campaigns, social media integrations to drive customer engagement and drive sales. Product presentations also played a huge role here. For wholesale, on the other hand, you can also run marketing campaigns like displaying pop-ups, collecting email addresses, or connecting your shops to marketing tools like MailChimp, HubSpot, or Klaviyo.
Yeah. That's very well put on the branding part, the consistency. I think a lot of people might miss that, like different font sizes, and yeah, people start to notice that. So keeping those consistent across that. It also sounds like there's a benefit to having a different user experience from your wholesale partners to your direct to consumer, your B2C. Very interesting. So what are some ways that make it easier for customers to continually shop at stores? I know return customers are like one of the most important things. They're like the foundation of e-commerce stores.
Absolutely. So based on our experience working with roasteries, we know that the simpler the solution, the better. Especially for wholesale, you really don't need all of the fancy features. It needs to work quickly and smoothly. So I would say the most popular features roastery use on a daily basis include subscription, definitely, automatic and manual recurring orders, repeat orders, something very similar in terms of the functionality, and simple reminders to customers to place orders. So I would say these are the top three functionalities that customers are using and roasteries are offering to host both wholesale and both B2C customers. Our recommendation usually is to display only the products your customers need. You need to make sure that you make their buying experience as smooth and hassle-free as possible. So this is like the top three priorities for our roasteries and the customers.
Yeah, that communication, the email marketing, those reminders, some people might not like those things all the time, but they really go a long way in e-commerce, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I feel like I definitely hear it at least once a week. I have a lot of people requesting how they can automate accounting. I think QuickBooks Online is probably the most popular one I see here in the US. What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, definitely. The piece of integrations and to streamline some workflows, it's top. It's like the top priority for especially for roasteries, of course, because your end customer cannot see all of those different elements connected to one another. But yeah, streamlining accounting process is by far the top request among the roasteries. That's why all of our shops are connected to QuickBooks or Xera, which is very popular in Europe, I believe, and other accounting software. So this type of integration allows roasteries to automate invoice issuing, map customer data, map product information, track and update payment statuses, and also offer, in terms of QuickBooks, you can also offer QuickBooks online payments at checkout. So including ACH payments that are becoming very popular right now in the US. And also there are plenty of requests to actually have this type of payment established in both wholesale and B2C solutions. So yeah, definitely that's something I would say this is like the very common request and basic functionality that we at Beans can offer, and probably most of the e-commerce platforms too.
Yeah, ACH, that's one I didn't even think of. Yeah, that's a really good
one.
Yeah, and of course, I can touch on this a little bit, but all of this automation can tie right into Cropster as well. With Commerce, you've got all your orders in place. We get you connected on the commerce side, and we can create schedules, we can create all your workflows, we can manage your packaged inventory and help you kind of better manage the actual roastery, help you get rid of that giant dreaded spreadsheet and all of those fun things. We connect directly with Beans. We have a great relationship. I'm working with Magda all the time. And we can connect, of course, directly to Shopify and WooCommerce as well. My big thing that I hear all the time with commerce is everybody wears a lot of hats. Coffee roasters are super busy. So now we're adding more tech. How can we add more tech, but also make things more efficient?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So we actually touched on this a bit before, but by incorporating new technology like online wholesale platforms, you can really simplify managing and fulfilling orders, thereby reducing admin work. Of course, this is not like setting and forgetting solution. It requires ongoing management. You will need someone to oversee all processes and make adjustments as needed, such as offering, such as pricing changes, or commercial terms that you have with your existing customers. However, this will free up more time for you to focus on your coffee and customer relationship. So streamlining operations in different channels, both B2B and B2C, really helps you reduce mundane manual tasks and focus more on building relationship with customers.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Rid of those kind of mundane tasks. I remember in my past life, I was an e-commerce manager and I integrated QuickBooks and I said, hey, the bookkeeper no longer has to manually enter these POs. That's great. But they still need to check them. So it's not eliminating a job, but it's scaling, it's making it more efficient. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Awesome. So before we open it up to the Q&A session and we start asking around, what are the biggest advantages to working with Beans specifically?
I believe also from the experience working with our existing customers, I believe the time saving and kind of consistency, standardization of the processes are key benefits. Along with the opportunity to provide this platform for wholesale customers and for B2C customers that can be integrated seamlessly into your existing ecosystem. So that's why this part of checking whether this next platform, e-commerce platform, wholesale platform, can be a part of your existing ecosystem rather than additional burden and tool. This is very, very crucial. So yeah, time saving, consistency are the key benefits. But also I believe that having dedicated private channel, or we can call it separate store for B2B and B2C, can really differentiate user experience between B2B and B2C. That's really important because you can keep separate in a separate way all the B2B and the B2C data. So we can have wholesale data, reporting, and analytics in one place for B2B and for B2C in your e-commerce platform. So it's great to have a separate place to manage your orders, to manage your customers, and to manage your product catalogs, because we know that with B2B, there are like different requirements, different conditions prerequisite for managing your products, managing product variants, managing product visibility and availability. So that's why keeping it in a separate environment, in separate channel might be very beneficial. In terms of the advantages of working with Beans, I believe looking at different competitive solutions, for example, Shopify Plus provides huge functionalities, but definitely in terms of the pricing, it's really like expensive solution. So I believe compared to costs, I believe our solution can be pretty compelling, because we have no monthly fee, no monthly subscription, no fixed fee. So we charge per order. So if you do not process any order via our platform, you don't pay anything. We also take care of the cloud hosting. So that's something very important, because roasteries can focus on the product and on the relationship with customers rather than on the technical aspects of running your e-commerce platform. That's what we also offer is support, either both technical and the ongoing support. So we set up shops, we build website, we customize all of those websites, we create all of those workflows. We also take care of the plugins, we take care of the website, we take care of the updates of your plugins and or your website. We also trying to develop new features, functionalities, or improve ones based on our customer feedbacks, because we are trying to listen to our customers and to see what they've been struggling with or what they need. And our advantage is definitely that we have our IT teams, so we can build on our WooCommerce engine. And if there is a one roastery that asks for a very specific improvement, then we can develop it and make it available for all roasteries. So that's definitely beneficial. And also we offer trainings, unlimited trainings. So if there is a roastery who has a new manager, wholesale manager, or production manager, or anyone who will be taking care of the e-commerce platform, they can simply reach out to us and we can guide them through the setup, guide them through product management, customer relationship management. We can also go through some integrations. So yeah, I would say that's basically it.
Yeah, the customer support is so huge. I know so many people pay web developers monthly to kind of do the same thing, manage the plugins and updates and things like that. Unfortunately, turnover happens. And so when it does and you're not 100% prepared, it's so nice to have somebody in your corner that can say, hey, this is how you have your product set up. Or, sometimes that person, even though it's all there, your standard operating procedure goes with them. So I've seen
correct.
that Beans is a big help there. Amazing. So much great information. Thank you, Magda. That was great. I loved hearing all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we can open up the Q&A now. If anybody has any questions, please post those in. We'll answer them as we can. Like I said, in a past life, I was an e-commerce manager at a coffee roaster for 8 years, so I know a little bit. I can try to answer them. You can always book time with me too. If you want to talk commerce, talk e-commerce, talk coffee. I've worked with EDI. It goes on and on and on. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of start at the top of the questions and work our way down. I'll answer some. Maybe Magda, you can touch on them.
Sure, absolutely.
First one, of course, goes right into integrations. They specifically asked about Tapcart. Personally, I'm not too aware of Tapcart actually off the top of my head.
No, me neither, to be honest. I'm not sure whether this is some kind of payment gateway or some patch on the checkout process. It would be great to know more details. Of course, we can check this out later on. But yeah, maybe I'll quickly describe what's the process behind integration look like, because usually, as I said before, we build shops on the WooCommerce engine, and what is great about this specific e-commerce engine is that it supports multiple integrations. So usually what we do is we just dig deeper into any plugin or functionalities developed provided by WooCommerce. If not, then we are trying to find whether there's some external apps available. First, what we do is we just testing it out on our demo environment. Once everything is up and running, then we launch it onto production. So with Tapcart, definitely that's something that I will have to check out with our IT team. And yeah, I will be happy to get back to you with more information about this Tapcart app.
Yeah, I think WooCommerce is nice. It is open source. So like if you can dream it and find a developer, as long as it works with the Beans environment, everything should be good there. So sometimes you might have to kind of create it, but In the
Yeah,
world today,
that's true.
sometimes those are it's easier than you'd think. So yeah,
Yeah, there are also some like a very nice third-party connectors, so to speak, like Zapier or Make. So there are different ways to actually get those two solutions talk to each other. So yeah, as you said, this open source platform. So if you have your own developer, definitely you can get access to API and connect your store to Shopee to WooCommerce.
cool. Do you have a good example site that you could show us by any chance?
We have our demo shop, but in terms of wholesale shop of our customers, we have plenty of great shops that we've built with real products, with real product categories. But that's something that we cannot show, unfortunately, because in terms of the wholesale sites, as I said, each and every shop is closed, is private. So I cannot reveal the product pages, product categories, and product prices. But we have demo shops. I would be happy to send a link to the demo shop so that you can see this customer-facing storefront and also explore the shop from the admin perspective on the back office side. So to see like the best example of the website that we've built, it would be hard, unfortunately, but definitely I can provide a link to our demo shop.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'd be helpful to conceptualize that. Very
Yeah,
cool.
definitely.
Okay, so here's a question. Where should you start if you are yet to begin in the coffee roasting industry? So this is kind of touching on like branding and just getting involved. Uh, Personally, it's finding out who your customer is, I think is really important. I think you'd be surprised by the niche industries that you can step in. Is there a local community church that you can get involved and find your customers? Is there an office building? Are you going to start to be known at like a local market? So you start to build a customer base. It's kind of understanding what you want to do. But I think, now with so many brands out there in the coffee industry, it's nice to differentiate. I think a lot of us are kind of on the same page with specialty, high quality coffee. We give back to farmers. We're all about sustainability. But now, how do we further differentiate? So I think it's really kind of identifying your brand and making that something that you believe in. Maybe that's a little ethereal. Do you have any advice there, Magda?
Oh, in terms of coffee roasting industry, that's something that I'm not experienced in, to be honest, but definitely what you said about knowing your audience, knowing your future customers and how to differentiate yourself. This is like the biggest part of probably each and every business that exists at the moment. Definitely have your niche, find your niche. That's something that is probably the most important one. But yeah, definitely, if you're just starting off with your coffee roasting industry, probably you shouldn't be worried about all of those optimization and about the automation and so on, because that will be probably later on, but definitely build nice website. I also believe that people are, they pay attention to what your products looks like, whether you have very nice bag of coffee, really like clear, minimalistic design. So probably that's something that you also can pay attention to. Building your relationship with customers using your social media. That's something definitely worth exploring. But at this stage, I wouldn't worry about optimization, automation, and so on. Set up your shop using, for example, Shopify as a very easy tool for B2C or Squarespace, and try to find your first 10 customers, and then you will be ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And figure out what your customers like to drink. It's not always the same coffee that you like, the
Oh,
dark
yeah.
and the blends. And so, I think that's exactly it. Think creatively. Easier probably said than done. But, and I'll say too, if you're ever looking for information, like here at Cropster, we have so many great coffee professionals. If you're not using even just the roasting piece, we're here to like guide. I think getting set up on Cropster roasting is really helpful for getting started, because then you start to step up your quality control. You start to understand your profiles and create an amazing product, of course, is a very important part of it all. Uh, awesome. Thank you for that. So someone was asking for a little more clarification on beans.
Mhm.
Is it a plugin for WooCommerce, or is it an engine built with WooCommerce that can use other plugins? How does that look?
Sure. So I would say Beans is more like improved version of WooCommerce. So we use like building blocks of WooCommerce. So we have access to the e-commerce engine of WooCommerce. But what we do actually is we improve this regular WooCommerce by adding some custom developed functionalities by us, by adding all of those features that help you run specifically the wholesale part of the business. Because with WooCommerce, what you can do is you can run your e-commerce very easily, but it is not optimized for wholesale. So what we do is we use these basic building blocks of WooCommerce, but we are trying to improve it and enhance it using our functionalities, features specific to coffee, and also optimize for wholesale. And of course, we can also connect to coffee tools like Cropster. And yes, we can also use other plugins. So because we have WooCommerce tech stack, we can use the whole marketplace of plugins that WooCommerce supports. So if you would like to have Beans, we will have this e-commerce engine, building blocks of WooCommerce, but also we will be able to provide all of those features and functionalities and integrations of WooCommerce. And on top of that, with our IT team, we can also support our own custom development, our own functionalities, and features that are not available in WooCommerce as default. I'm not sure whether this answer clarified the question, but hopefully it is now more clear.
Yeah, yeah, and feel free to ask more questions too if you want us to go into more detail about
Yeah.
anything as well. All right, I have in here, this is a little more on the branding side. So they've just settled in the US. They have a portfolio of coffee from Colombia, Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala. Uh, this is kind of like a two business front, importing coffee uh, into the US. There's obviously a lot of competition. We definitely see that in the specialty world now. Uh, how to create the network of contacts, like people that you're going to be working with. It's kind of right in there too. Green buying and green selling is its whole own other kind of beast of its own. I think a big part there is networking. I have been a short time green buyer. There's probably people in the chat that could even speak better to this to me. But yeah, I think you really need a big network of people. How do you establish that? It's a lot of like Googling and finding your coffee roasters, finding your clientele. Are you going to roast your coffee and sell roasted? Do you just want to sell green coffee? Uh, when I first got started in coffee, actually, my whole idea was my family's from Colombia. I'm gonna go to Colombia. I'm gonna bring coffee back and sell it here. I went there and was like, oh, I need to learn so much more about roasting, about brewing, about extraction and quality control. So I think education's a big part too. I think for someone to buy green coffee from you, they have to trust your standards, because they're going to want to come to you year after year. So yeah, it's kind of finding your niche, finding the places that you can succeed, and then just shopping around. I think you have some great origins that I think everybody's always looking for, like a solid Colombia offering. I think, like, personally, we always had a really good Honduras blender. So I think some of those key accounts too can kind of build your foundation. Find that person who's buying those 10 bags every quarter or so. Uh, but yeah, that's a hard question for sure. I think again, book some time with us and we'll connect you. We have green buyers and sellers all over Cropster, and so I think there's always more information to be had there. Do you have any experience on that stuff, Magda?
No, actually, I have no experience in that very field, but I would say looking at what's happening during those offline events like SEA World of Coffee. So probably that's the place where you should be going, Carlos, in the future, because there are like plenty of people in from the coffee industry. So building network, being at such events, this is like probably that would be very fruitful. So that's what I can actually add here, but you cover probably all possible scenarios and opportunities very well.
Yeah, good
Offline,
point.
offline events, yeah.
Yeah, there are more and more coming up now, so it feels like you can almost find one every month. Might have to travel a little bit, but yeah, very good point there.
I'm not sure whether there's some meetups or online events happening at the moment, but what I definitely can say that Cropster is great network. So you can start with Cropster team and Cropster people.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
very true. Okay, so coming back to the WooCommerce and plugins. So they need a plugin for subscriptions. Beans can handle those, but I guess is that without the use of an additional plugin, or but on Beans you're using an actual WooCommerce plugin. Is there a popular one that you've seen?
Yeah, definitely. We have two plugins that we use. Those are like WooCommerce plugins provided by WooCommerce and supported by WooCommerce. So I would say our strategy is that if there is a great solution available, like great plugins enabled for WooCommerce, we use those plugins. If there's something that is not covered yet, or there's like non-features and available, non-plugins, that's something that we're trying to develop on our own. So if there are great plugins available on the market, that's definitely our way of handling things like subscription, for example, or recurring orders. We have two plugins that we install onto the shop of our customers that we recommend the most. But this is not like a built-in feature on the Beans shop. So if they're like great solutions, we use them. If they're like non-solutions available, we're trying to figure out on our own by either custom development or trying to improve existing solutions. So that's our strategy.
Yeah. Yeah. So since their site's currently on WooCommerce, those subscription apps kind of already do exist. And I think the one
That's
I
true.
used to use was called WooCommerce subscriptions. I think that's just kind of,
That's the one. And I
yeah.
think there another one called All Products. Those are like two complementary plugins that you can install into the shop and use it. But WooCommerce subscription, this is like the most popular one that we recommend and our shops are using at the moment.
And so if a customer's already on WooCommerce for their B2C, Beans would be separate from that, right? It would operate off of their WooCommerce platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because this is like, as I mentioned, this is like already improved environment on WooCommerce. We cannot build Beans wholesale portal on your existing retail store. So it would be like a separate environment.
But what they could do is build both of them with Beans and then just move the domain over.
Yeah, so actually we do support creating retail stores. That's not our specialty, but because we use WooCommerce engine, that's something that we can definitely handle. But as I said before, because of handling your wholesale workflows independently, having your reporting tools, analytics laid out in more transparent way, definitely handling your B2B in different private channel will be better than having everything in one place. That's our experience, and most of our customers are using separate solution for B2C, like Shopify, which is great, and for B2B, Beans, for example.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. Great. I think that might be all of the questions. We'll probably can shoot over some direct information. We have your information here for anybody that posted questions. So thank you all so much for
Thank you.
being
Very great
a part
questions.
of this. Yes, that was good. It got my my brain working too. I love to talk about this and think about this too. So, my link will be out there to book some time with me if you're interested. Same thing with Magda. We'll share her information. If you have any questions on any of these things, we'd love to help.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely. If there's like anyone who'd like to explore beans further or have any questions like Kelly, for example, you can reach out to me via either a link that will be attached in the email, or you can book a meeting through our website, getbeans.com. I will be happy to help you out.
Awesome. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much for all of the great information, Magda. Thank you
Thank
everybody
you very
for being a part of this. Thank you, Kelsey, for helping out in the background. I think that's everything. So everybody take care and we'll talk soon.
Yeah.